Welcome to another episode of Aging with Attitude. My name is Phil Koch, and tonight we have a special guest, Peco McKoy. Peco, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Phil.
Peco is District Manager for the Charlotte Social Security District, which includes offices in Charlotte, Concord, and Albemarle. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Peco has been with us before, but tonight she is our Social Security czar, so to speak. So she's going to tell us more about Social Security and some of the things that are new in that area.
Thanks, Phil. I want to talk about my Social Security account. I know there are a lot of us who go to doctors, and we now have the My Chart with our physician that allow us to be able to go home, and the next day we can get our diagnostic testings and examination results. Well, the My Social Security account is very similar to the My Chart you can have with your physician. Who can have a My Social Security account, and what is it for? Mm-hmm. A person must be at least 18 years of age. They must have a Social Security account number, and they have to have a valid email address. And the last requirement is that they must have a U.S. mailing address. Mm-hmm. So how do you get this account set up? You go to our website, which is www.socialsecurity.com/my-account. And then you're going to be asked for some personal information. You're going to be given a user name, and you have to do that yourself, and you have to do a password. So what is the advantage of having a My Social Security account? Now, what it does for you, it would allow you to go online and check your Social Security work record to make sure that your employer is reporting your earnings correctly. Mm-hmm. All right? Now, everyone should do that. There is no age limit for checking that account. Back in 2010, before 2010, Social Security was mailing out yearly what we call a personalized earnings benefit statement to every worker 25 years of age and older. Mm-hmm. So we stopped that in 2010. And then we went to having persons create their My Social Security account to allow them to check their work record. In September 2014, Congress decided they were going to reinstitute part of the personalized earnings benefit statement mail out. Right. So what we're doing now, starting in September 2014, we're going to be mailing out account to persons who are 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60 who do not have a My Social Security account set up and who are not getting a monthly Social Security check. Okay? Now, persons who are receiving Social Security benefits already, they will not be mailed a My Social Security account statement, right. Personalized statement. And the reason for they're already getting benefits. So, if you're getting benefits, what is the advantage of having a My Social Security account? Mm-hmm. You can go online, you can change your address, you can change your direct deposit information, you can change your telephone number, you can do all that online and never have to call the 1-800 number or call any local Social Security office to make that happen. Right. Okay? That is one, yes, you can do it yourself. Yeah. Because many people change their banks, and you may say, well, if I'm getting a Social Security check each month and my check is going to my financial institution, why do you need to know my mailing address? What's the purpose of knowing my mailing address? What do you think? Why would I need to know your mailing address?
Well, in case you you need to get the check.
You need, yes, because.
Or the receipt of the check.
Well.
If it's direct deposit.
The check's going direct deposit, but throughout the year, Social Security mail out reporting requirements. If you're getting disability benefits, remind you that if you go to work, you must let us know. Right. Also, what about the cost of living increase?
True, yeah.
Congress just passed a 1.7% cost of living increase for all persons who are getting a monthly Social Security check. Right. And for those persons who's getting a supplemental security income check called SSI, that 1.7% increase is going to be effective January 2015.
Okay.
Now, if we don't have your current and correct mailing address, then you won't get that notice about the cost of living increase. You wouldn't get that notice. That's a reason for your letting us know your current mailing address.
Right.
So that 1.7% increase for persons who are getting an SSI check, they're going to notice that increase in the check that's going to be mailed on December 31st.
Okay.
You say, why December 31st? You just told me January, Peco. Well, the 1st is a holiday. So Social Security do not mail checks out, deposit them on holidays.
Good holiday.
And our purpose is to make sure that you have your benefit income before the holiday so you can use that money to pay your bills or whatever else you need to do.
Right.
So the law is that if the holiday is on, if the 1st is on a holiday or a weekend, we mailed it or deposited it the day before. So December 31st is the day that the SSI folks are going to get their increase. Okay?
Really? Okay.
Yes. And those persons who's getting regular Social Security benefits, they will notice their increase in the check that comes in the month of January.
Right.
Now, we know, Phil, that all checks are not paid on the 1st of the month or the 3rd day of the month. It depends upon the day of your birth as to when you're going to receive your regular Social Security check.
Okay.
It could be the 2nd Wednesday, the 3rd Wednesday, or the 4th Wednesday. Congress made that change many, many years ago to help the post office and to help the financial institutions so everybody would not be going to the bank or going to the post office at the same time. So that made a difference, you know, throughout other agencies as well.
That would be amazing. I mean, you would have half of the world's that are retired going to the mailbox.
Absolutely.
On the same day.
On the same day.
Yeah.
And when Congress made a decision that Social Security checks had to be direct deposit, that was not received well by everybody.
Right.
Because there are some folks who in the past, you know, that was a day that they went to meet their friends. They met at the post office. They met at the banks, you know, once a month, and they would go have lunch because they had their money. So we all were not happy about direct deposit, but Congress made it a law that had to be with very, very few exceptions. Okay?
So this is a very powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the internet and computers, this enables individuals to go online and sign up themselves. And for those of you that are not as familiar with the internet or computers, you know, I would imagine you would recommend having, let's say, a power of attorney, like a daughter or a son or a spouse, help them set that up, which enables them to print out statements if they ever wanted to on them by themselves. And for those of you that deal with financial planners, you could print that statement out and bring it to your financial planner as part of the overall financial planning process.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we don't want to wait until we are near retirement age to find out, you know, how much we're going to be able to get from Social Security. You want to plan ahead. You're right, you're right.
Okay.
Now, we talked about the My Social Security account, but there's another part of online services as well, okay? My Social Security account is over here. But suppose I'm ready to file for my retirement benefits.
Okay.
Do I have to go into a Social Security office to do that? Do I have to call them on the phone to do that? No.
Right.
You can go to Social Security website and there's a link that would allow you to file for your retirement benefits online. Now, like you said, there are some of us who are not computer savage, but we have children, grandkids who can help us with that.
Right.
So they can file their Social Security retirement account online, like tonight, and then tomorrow morning when Social Security workers come in, we pull those applications in, we check them, and now a person does not have to submit their birth certificate. If the date of birth they gave us when they got their Social Security card, if that checks out with what we have now, we don't need to see the birth certificate.
Right.
We can just move on. And claims can be processed within 5 or 10 days if everything checks out.
Okay.
Okay? So you can file for your retirement benefits online. And you may think, well, Peco, everybody's not retiring. Some folks become disabled
Right.
and cannot work. Can they file their disability claim online? Can they start that online? The answer is yes. So it's retirement benefits online, there's disability, but suppose I am not going to stop working. I'm 65, but I'm healthy, I feel good, I want to continue working. Regardless of being 65 and continue working, you do need to file for Medicare.
Right.
Yes. And you need to do that at least 3 months before the month you're going to be 65.
Okay.
Now, can I file my Medicare only claim online now? Yes, you can. You can file that Medicare claim online as well. So we're talking about filing for retirement benefits online, filing for disability benefits online, and for your Medicare online. And you never have to come into the Social Security office.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's one way of service to the public.
Right.
But suppose the person says, oh no, I'm not going to file online. I want to make a phone appointment, or I want to go into the Social Security office. I want to look at you face to face. Do I have that option? Yes.
Yeah.
You still have the option of making an appointment to go into the Social Security office to talk face to face with the representative, or having that done by phone.
Right.
Which is still a convenience.
Yeah.
We give you a set date and time that we will call you on the phone and help you file your application. Or if you come into the office, you have a set date and time. We try to please the customers. It's what
Right.
you want. That's what we are there for. We're all about service.
Now, if somebody wanted to set up their own account and they didn't have a daughter or a grandson or a spouse that could help them, could they call up your office and somebody help them, walk them through setting that up?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. They can call the local office, or they can call the 1-800 number that's, very, very publicized. It's 1-800-772-1213. And that number works from 7 in the mornings until 7 in the afternoons. They can call that number, and an agent there will help them in establishing my account. Yes, yes.
I would think, too, if they're setting up an account, it's very important for all of us, if you're you create a username and a password, that you keep that somewhere safe and away from prying eyes.
Yes.
It is an important internet site, and it's important information for your future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Then moving down the line, suppose you forget your password.
Okay.
Is it possible for you to call us and have that reset? Yes.
Okay, good.
You can do that. So many of us have so many usernames and so many passwords, it's hard to remember all of them. Yes, that can be done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. And that's good information, because a lot of us were 10, 15 years ago, even 5 years ago, weren't as comfortable with computers. Now it's really changing. And even for those out there that are still not as comfortable, you have other options. You have friends, family members, daughters, sons that can help you with this. And it'll be a lot easier at the comfort of your home,
Yes.
accessing the information and changing it if necessary.
Absolutely, and especially if you're filing for disability benefits. There is one report that's very detailed. You have to give the medication you're taking, the doctor's names, addresses, and phone numbers. And if you're on the phone with us and we got an hour to do that interview, or you're in the office, we're pushing for time.
Right.
If you're in your comfort of your own home, you can look up the information, be as detailed as you possibly can, and then come out, get a reset entry number, go back in, and finish the application. We have to do it all at one time.
Right.
Which means that when Social Security gets that application for disability benefits, we've got a more thorough, a more detailed product that would help our office making the medical determination. It would help them in getting the documentation from the medical sources to be able to make that medical determination about your being unable to do any type of work.
Now, if you were moved, let's say you moved this year, could you go on to that internet site and make the changes online?
Yes. If you're receiving Social Security benefits and you're getting a check each month, you moved, and we need to know where you are, yes. If you have established your My Social Security account, then you can log on to your account and change your address with us without having to call the 800 number or call us. Yes.
Right. In fact,
Yes.
that's a must. If our viewers have Social Security and you move, you need to either log into the account or visit the Social Security office or contact them to let them know. Don't rely on the mail forwarding for years to come. It has to be made a change so you can get those checks and those benefits, you know, moving forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
I hear through the news about a cost of living increase. Tell us about that. That's, I'm sure, of interest to our viewers.
Yes, the cost of living increase, it is set. It has already been determined by Congress. It is a 1.7% increase. It's a little more than what we got last year.
Okay.
And it's effective with the checks that are going to come again in the month of January.
Right.
Okay, this is for both groups who are getting Social Security. I mentioned the SSI, the Supplemental Security Income Recipients, SSI, and then that group is going to get a 1.7% increase. And the person who's getting regular Social Security will also receive a 1.7% increase. Now, I mentioned December 31st for the SSI people.
Right.
It's coming early because the first is a holiday. All SSI checks come on the first day of the month. That's one group that we did not change, okay? Their check is deposited on the first day of the month. But for the other group, the work-related persons who are getting Social Security, their check can come on a Wednesday, all right?
The supplemental Social Security
Income.
SSI?
Mm-hmm, SSI.
Tell me more about that SSI.
Okay. SSI is a program that's administered by Social Security. We have two programs. One is work-related and one is needs-based.
Okay.
The SSI is a needs-based program. A person does not have to have any work credit under Social Security to be paid under that program.
Okay.
We have aged benefits under that program, disabled and blind, okay? Over here.
Right.
The work-related program, you got your retirement benefits, your survivors, your disability, your Medicare, but that program is work-related.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter how disabled you may be under the SSI program, it's one way, but under the work-related program, you gotta meet the work requirement first,
Right.
okay? SSI, no work requirement. Regular Social Security, it's a work requirement. Now, where does the money come from? SSI, it's, you know, general tax dollars, your tax dollars and my tax dollars for the SSI program. But the regular Social Security, that's an earned right.
Right.
You have worked on the Social Security. When you get your W-2 form, that little block that says Social Security taxes or FICA taxes, that's Social Security.
Yeah.
Okay?
What kind of, tell me more about disabled. What kind of unfortunate events that would take place where somebody would qualify under being disabled and receive Social Security benefits?
Good question, very good question. For both programs, SSI and regular Social Security, the definition of disability is exactly the same. A person must be unable to do any type of work whatsoever based upon their age. Look at their age, look at their education, look at their prior work experience, and also their medical records. Now, it doesn't mean that you cannot do what you're doing now.
Right.
Okay? If you have a college education and you can be trained to do another job, then your claim may be denied. So we're saying that you are unable to do any type of substantial gainful work based upon your age, your education, your prior work experience. Another thing too, that medical condition, it must be expected to last for at least a year or result in death. We don't have any temporary disability under either program, SSI or the regular Social Security. It's permanent disability, okay? Good
so
question.
Somebody like, you know, for example, I know of a family and they have a very low functioning autistic boy who's a teenager, will probably not get better as he becomes an adult.
Right.
But and somebody like that, knowing he won't be able to work,
right,
would that individual, just a small example, fall under those benefits?
That person could file for disability benefits under the SSI program.
Okay, gotcha.
The one that's not work-related, because he hasn't
never
worked
worked
any. Right.
Okay, yes.
Now, if he's under age 18, then we look at the parent's income and resources to see if that child might be eligible under the SSI program, because it's a needs-based program, okay?
Right.
Once the child reaches age 18 and she is an adult, then we don't look at the parent's income.
Right.
Yes, so that would be a good example of that person being entitled to disability benefits under the SSI program that we administer.
Even though he or she didn't work.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's right. Good question. Good question.
Okay. So tell us more about some of the things your department does and how it benefits the end consumers for Social Security.
I want to talk about one thing just briefly.
Please,
that
yeah,
time is running out. Identity theft is a big issue, across the nation now. We want to encourage people to not carry their Social Security account number card in their wallet. Do not carry it with you. Leave it at home in a safe place.
Yes.
Now we know there are many, many agencies that ask for your Social Security number, banks and other vendors that ask you for your Social Security number for identification purposes. Now, do you have to give that number out? Well, it depends upon whether you want to receive the services from those agencies or not.
Right.
Now, some agencies require the Social Security number, but we as consumers may ask that agency, is there any other way that you can identify me for my benefits I'm applying for without having to use my Social Security number?
Right.
But if they say yes, they have to, then that's your choice. If you want the benefits, then you would have to give them the Social Security number.
Okay.
But you need to be very, very careful with
So
protecting
don't bring it with you.
Don't take that Social Security card with you.
Now,
leave it at home in a safe place.
With the new Social Security website or the accessing it online, let's say, God forbid, I lost mine or it was stolen. Can I go online and order that, or do you have to come in person?
I love that question because you cannot go online and complete the entire process.
Okay.
You can go online and download the application to get a replacement Social Security card. You can do that.
Okay.
I want to caution folks, make sure when you go online to get that replacement application, you go to the Social Security website, which begins www.socialsecurity. We have many, many persons who call us, Phil, to say they went to our website, paying $50 to an agency to replace their Social Security card in an expedited manner. You can't do that. We have to see the original document. So you have to bring those into the Social Security office or mail those to us.
You're saying there's rogue websites out there that are trying to scam people to get the $50 where there is, not only do they not get an expedited Social Security card, but they're scamming them out of $50.
Absolutely.
Plus they're giving some third party their Social Security number.
Yes, they are. And we see it weekly.
Wow.
And it's from person that, you think, well, how did you do that? And they would say, well, I went to the site, it looked like it was Social Security. It appeared to be Social Security, but you got to remember, I would start with www.socialsecurity.gov. Once they get that money from you, all they're going to do is to mail the documents to us, just like you would do, or you got to bring them to us. So there is no expedited service by using those agencies. So don't pay for any services. Social Security doesn't charge for any service that we perform. Filing applications we don't charge for anything at all.
Right.
Absolutely.
So nobody's going to send you an email. Nobody's going to call you and ask for credit card information pertaining to Social Security, nor any federal agency that I'm aware of.
Right.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
Big red flag, right?
Yes.
When in doubt, check out, contact Social Security office directly, or contact the Better Business Bureau, and they'll...
Absolutely. Yes, yes. Hang up.
Hang up is right.
Try to get the number of the person who's calling you, and then let us know so we can try to backtrack to see who's out there making those calls.
Yeah, and it
happens, Phil, all the time. Yes.
Sad but true. So if I'm ready to retire, I'm getting close to retirement, I want to get on that side. I want to check out my benefits. I want to hopefully have dealt with a financial planner beforehand, because you mentioned in the green room earlier how important it is to not just look a year before your retirement on what Social Security is going to be giving you after retirement, but beforehand, so you can start to gauge what you need prior to retirement. Can you comment on that?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Yes. Go to Social Security website, www.socialsecurity.gov, retirement/estimator.
Okay.
You can calculate your benefit amount at different intervals. You could calculate it at age 62, 65, 66, whatever.
Right.
You plug in the information, and then the calculator will give you the benefit amount that it will be. Now, we're basing it on the earnings that you have credited to your Social Security record as of today.
Right.
But you can do that online and get that information so you know how to plan. Because you got to remember that if you were 62 in the month of, say, October, well, let's go January.
Right.
January the 5th, you're going to be 62. You have to be 62 every day of the month to be paid for that month. So for January 2015, we wouldn't pay you for that month.
Right.
The first month you would be due a check would be the month of February.
Okay.
Checks are paid a month behind. February's check is going to come in March.
Okay.
So in planning for your retirement, you have to remember that. Okay?
Yeah.
That's a very important factor.
Yep.
Okay.
Keep your Social Security card at home. Do not carry it with you. Oh, tell us about the age and where it's heading. For example, right now, standard benefit recipients get it at age 65. You can get it earlier at 62.
62, that has not changed.
And when does it change? It's going to change in the future, though, for
Well,
people
right
younger.
now for persons like you, I'm not going to give you age, but
Yeah.
for persons who were born in 1960 and later,
Right.
the full retirement age is 67. Persons born
67.
prior to that is 66. That's your full retirement age. Okay?
Okay.
But you can always take it early if you choose to do so.
Well, that's good to know.
Okay.
And let me, I want to thank Peco, you again, for coming in, because this is very important information for our viewers and the families of our viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have any questions, please contact Peco or the staff in her offices, both in Charlotte and in the state offices. Thank you all for joining us here at Aging with Attitude, servicing the greater Charlotte metro market. Hope you all have a great holidays, and welcome back to Aging with Attitude. Phil Koch, host. Thank you very, very much. We look forward to seeing you on the next show.